Hello, Chris, Suffolk Record Collector, back again with the first finds video of 2025. Some great records to show. I think I've got about eight records that have been all found this month. In shops, record stalls, market stalls. Nothing online. Very, very rarely do I shop online. I have done once or twice. I probably will do again, but at the moment I'm finding plenty of records, and I find it much more exciting when I find a record. And I found a couple of really nice. I've got 8 records to show. A couple of 3 of these are just really nice records. One's a collector's piece, if you're a collector. But they're all collectible records, aren't they? But anyway, so let's get started. So what we're going to start with? Well, I think we're going to start. Shall we start with some Brazilian folk psych? Yeah, album from 1972. This is a reissue. Yeah, and I think up until last year, there was a repress of this, Brazilian repress, but only ever released in Brazil, 72 originally. I think there was in about 92, there was a CD issue in Argentina. But to my knowledge, this has never ever been released outside of Brazil up until last year. And you can now get, this is readily available. And it is such a good album. So what is the album? I'll tell you what it is in a minute. I don't speak Spanish, so I've had to practice this. But this is the record. Okay. There's a hype sticker on it there, which I'll read in a moment. There, you can see it there now. It's back. The album is called, forgive me for this please, Perfectamente, Justamente, Quando Cheguei, and the artists are Rubino and Moro Asampaco. Please don't ask me to read the tracks off here. There's a lot of psych elements on this. It's a Brazilian album from 1972. Originals of this are rarer than hen's teeth, and even in Brazil, they're rare. Yeah, but it is so good. It has elements of psych. It has elements of folk mixed with Brazilian music. It's phenomenal, mate. It is phenomenal. And this reissue will set you back about 23 quid, brand new. And I'm pretty sure it's readily available. I found this just into the new year in my local record shop. Yeah, fantastic. It is a fantastic listen from beginning to end. Completely sung in Spanish or Brazilian, Portuguese, whatever. I'm not quite sure what language they sing this in. It is fantastic. Now, I'm pretty sure about 3 or 4 years ago, someone on the VC showed a copy of this. But I can't be certain, and for the life of me, I ain't got a clue who it was. Something's telling me it may have been Norman Mazalov, but I can't remember. But I remember this picture. Anyway, I saw this in the racks in the shop. So I picked it up. It says here on the hype sticker, Brazilian psych folk at its finest. This highly sought after rarity from 1972 is the one and only album by the mythical pairing of Moro Asampaco and Rubino. Released by Mr. Bongo. There's the hype sticker that came with it. fantastic listen. I highly, highly recommend. Whether you can stream this, I don't know. I really don't know. If you can't, just seek out a copy. It's cheap enough. I mean, 23 quid. So I think I paid 23.99 brand new for this, my local record shop. Love it. I've had it like 3 weeks, and it's constantly being played. It's that good. It's that good of a record. Can't recommend it highly enough. So that's that one. Next is, again, bought from my local record store, a new release. I think it was released last year, just before New Year, at the end of last year, at the end of 24. And that is the 19th Trip, Brown Acid, the 19th Trip. Heavy rock from the underground come down. This is so good. It really, really is so good. It came in a nice poly sleeve. It's on a lovely, you might not see it, but it is like on a splatter vinyl. Yeah, you should be able to just see that. Great album. I love these. I haven't got all of them. It's like a compilation issues of a lot of stuff that never got released back in the day. Heavy rock from all over the world. On here we have, I'll show you the back cover, but we have side one, band called Dick Rabbit. They were from Bay City, Michigan, and the track is You Come On Like a Train from 1968. Two is a band called Blizzard. They were from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Be Myself, that's from 1974. Then we have a band called Fox, and track is called Sun City Part 2 from 69. They were from San Francisco, California. Four, we have Sweet Wine, band called Sweet Wine. Track called Bringing Me Back Home from 1970. They were from Virginia, Minnesota. And we end side one with a band called Enoch Smokey. Their version of Roll Over Beethoven from 69. They were from Iowa City in Iowa. The B-side, a band called Flight and Get You from 74. They were from Elria, Ohio. And we've got a band called Quick Fix and the track Indian from 78 from Berkshire, Massachusetts. Then we have a band called Bonjour Aviators, track The Fury in Your Eyes from 76 from Boston, Massachusetts. Then we have a band called Cedric, track I'm Leaving, from 1970. They're from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we finish off with a band called Zane, track Step Outside from 76. They were from Malmo, Sweden. If you like your heavy rock with still with some like psyche tones in there and stuff, and just very obscure, hard, heavy rock, you will love this series. This series is brilliant. And like I say, I've got 3 or 4 of these now, and I'm going to be looking at trying to pick up some of the back ones, but the early ones are pretty hard to find now. They're on a label called Riding Easy. Like I say, this was released in 24. So for me, this is a new release. Highly recommended the series. Check them out. They're not too expensive. You know, they're brand new. They're 30 quid, something like that. You might get them a bit cheaper off eBay and stuff. But they're still readily available, a lot of them. And well worth picking up. So that's 2 new records. Next, a little bit of prog. So we're going to get a little bit proggy now for a couple of records. I'm not the biggest Genesis fan in the world. I highly respect Genesis. I saw them live back in 1980, and still rates as one of the best gigs I've fucking ever been to in my life. It was absolutely awesome. I'm pretty sure it's a Duke tour, Phil Collins singer. It was good. It was good. It was a good concert. Like, I've got a few Genesis albums. There's a couple I'm looking for. This was one I've been looking for quite a long time. I've seen that once or twice, but there've been later reissues and they've been knackered. So it's the first time I found like a really early reissue and or repress, actually, an early repress, in really nice condition. Originals of this for me are going to be, you know, too expensive. So you probably know what album I'm talking about. That is From Genesis to Revelation. This is their first debut album. Front laminated sleeve. Like I say, there's a back, unlaminated back. Like I say, this is not an original first press, although I'm pretty sure this is a very early repress. Come with this original lyric inner, which is identical to the first pressing. And it's on this Decca label, and this is in beautiful condition. Look at that. That disc is EX all day long. I mean, I don't want to call this near me, but I can't, because I can see there are one or two spindle marks on it, but I can't see any real lines, not even fake lines on the vinyl. Great album, love this album. The other one I need to find is a really nice copy of Trespass, and then I'm probably done with Genesis. Like I say, I don't like all their albums at all. But track-wise on here, well, I'm going to read a little bit off the cover here, because that'll explain a little bit. Because when this first released, the very first pressings of this, and I was told a story about why it didn't sell very well, and that could be what I'm going to talk about. What I'm going to read here may also be a little bit about why it didn't really start selling until Christmas was released, as far as I know. Anyway, it says here, From Genesis to Revelation. The group started as Genesis, biblical centuries ago, but fate intervened. Other groups became Genesis, and who were we to fight? So we changed our name in America to Revelation. Moments later, up come another revelation. Now we are the group without a name. But we have a record and we want to give it to you, name or not. Now, a story I heard many years ago was when this was first released, there is no band name on the thingy. The album's just called From Genesis to Revelation. So when it got sent to record stores, I hadn't got a clue what this was. And a lot of record stores just dumped it in the religious section. And they never sold. And they got sent back. How true that is, I don't know. But originals of this are rare. True originals of this record are rare today. So, and I'm pretty sure this is like the first repress. I've checked the label out, and there's certain things on the label that are telling me that it is. So, you know, but it's a difficult one because it was repressed for quite some time. This is the original inner that would have been in exactly the same as what was in the original. So track-wise on here, side one. Yeah, side one. Where the sour turns to sweet. In the beginning, Fireside Song, The Serpent, Am I Very Wrong, In the Wilderness. Side 2, The Conqueror, In Hiding, One Day, Window in Limbo, Silent Sun, A Place to Call My Own. The band at this particular time, because this is 1969, originally released in 69, this reissue, this repress, I'm not sure if this was first repressed in 69 or just into 1970. Not 100% sure. The group at this point were Peter Gabriel, Anthony Phillips, Anthony Banks, Michael Rutherford and John Silver. Great album. And well worth picking up. Well worth picking up. Quite a good sounding album, not too bad at all, and yeah, it's a Genesis album that I like very much and highly regard that record. Next, so we're staying in prog. Equally scarce record, a scarce record this one. Pretty sure it's from 1970. Yeah, it's prog from 1970. Oh, what have we got? This is more on the experimental side of prog, a little bit, but fantastic. That's the band Egg, and The Polite Force by Egg, which was released in 1970. If you don't know who Egg were, they were Clive Brooks, Hugo Martin, Neil Slavin, and Dave Stewart. Yes, the Dave Stewart. It's a great album. I really like this. Like I say, it's a little bit more on the experimental side, but very good. Side 1, A Visit to Newport Hospital, Contra Song and Boylke. Side 2, Long Piece number 3. Yeah, and that's in 4 parts. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3 and Part 4. And this is really nice condition. It's on Duran with it's got a front laminated sleeve. Really nice condition. There's Dave Stewart there. So, like I say, it's on it's an original on Duran in lovely condition. Again, beautiful condition record. Look at that. I won't put anything in my collection under BG Plus anymore, except on rare occasions where the record is rare, and then I may do, but it depends what that record is, and it has to be play tested, and you know, a rare record you're going to struggle to find in any condition sometimes. So something like this, but this is in EX all day long. So really pleased to have this. You do not see it about much at all. So when I found a copy of that was coming home with me. So next, I don't know if this is a rare record or not. I never ever see this guy's records. I think it's a scarce record, and I think it's one of those, if you didn't know who this guy is, the cover is giving nothing away. You wouldn't buy it. It's a rock album rock with leanings to country here and there, but mainly a rock album. But it looks like, I don't know, the cover is just like very like, I don't know. I wouldn't buy it if I didn't know who this was. I wouldn't buy this record because the cover has given nothing away. So who have we got? We've got a guy here, a very, very interesting guy. A lot of you will know who this is. Some of you won't. He was originally from just up the road from me, from Cambridgeshire. So really, really not far from me at all. But anyway, who are we talking about? We are talking about a guy called Terry Reid. See what I mean about the cover? Yeah, this is from '76. This is a original US pressing from '76. The album is called Seed of Memory. Yeah, I mean that's very sort of from '76, like light rock. I don't really know what you'd call it, but that's what it looks like, doesn't it? But you could not be further from the truth. Cover. This is so good. Now, Terry Reid. Who was Terry Reid? Well, he is a vocalist, an amazing vocalist, and an extremely good guitar player. And he was, I can't remember the band, but he was a vocalist in a band in the mid-60s that sort of had a little bit of success. But his claim to fame, he was an amazing artist, or is an amazing artist, he's still around. Back in he was the Jimmy Page's first choice for vocalist for Zeppelin, but he turned them down. He also turned down Richie Blackmore to join Deep Purple. Okay. And the main reason, there are lots, so if you go online, you can look it up, but in an interview with him, he said a lot of people said, because I was only 17 years old, that his mum wouldn't let him join Zeppelin. He said that's not the truth at all. He said the truth was, at 17 years old, he had just been given by a record company a 3-record deal for him. Just him. So his name on the records, his photograph on the records, not other band members, just him. He was that highly, highly thought of back in the day, and still is today. I mean, I think he ended his solo career in the early '80s and concentrated more on session work and stuff. But this album is so, so good. Yeah, so, so good. I mean, the tracks on here, Faith to Arise, Seed of Memory, Brave Awakening, To Be Treated Right, Ooh Baby, Make Me Feel So Young, The Way You Walk, The Frame, and Fooling You. Yeah, this is a rock album, a lightish rock album that is just phenomenal. I'm telling you now, this record is phenomenal. Like I say, this is an original first US pressing on ABC Records. So, coming at original inner, original ABC inner, and beautiful condition. This album actually was produced by Graham Nash. It came with this lyric inner. That's a fold out one. Yeah, if you've never heard this album and you can stream it, go and stream it, or get yourself a copy. I didn't pay a great deal of money for this at all, but I never see his records. I've been looking for his records for years and I never ever see them. He's still about. He's well into his 70s, and I believe he did like a UK tour last year. So yeah, Terry Reid. If you don't know who he is, check him out, because you'll be pleasantly surprised, especially if you like rock music, It's hard to describe what that is, what music is, but it is absolutely, that album is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal album. I'd never seen it before. It's just sitting in the racks up on a market stall. So really, really pleased to have found that. And it sounds amazing. Talking about records that sound amazing. Got another US pressing of a record here. Again, this is not a rare record. You can find this. Because I'm pretty sure this got imported into the UK quite a bit. Because this band were quite biggish here in this sort of time. So this is, again, I think this is from 76. Yeah, it is. It's from 76. A US pressing, because I'm pretty sure this was only ever released in the US, Canada, funnily enough, Australia, according to Discogs. No CD, well, there is a CD issue of it, but it's in a box set. But according to Discogs, no CD issue, no reissue of this album. So your only chance of, according to Discogs, that's where I got the information from, is finding this. But I'm pretty sure you'll find this in the UK. Again, I paid a tenner for this, and it's a near mint copy. Not expensive at all, but it's a good one. And that's the band Spirit. And that's the album Farther Along from 76. Yeah. Now, this is on Mercury. So it's part of what I call the Mercury years, because that started off in 75 with the album Spirit of 76. And it's on the you say it, the Skyscraper label. This is a US press, obviously. Yeah. Lovely condition. This has to be the best sounding Spirit album I have ever heard. This is for Spirit, they've gone back a bit. So Spirit 76 was a bit of a heavier album. This is not a heavy album at all. It's a much lighter album from what they were doing at that time. Not known as their best output when they were on Mercury, but a couple of really good albums came out. Like this, Son of Spirit is good. This is brilliant. Spirit of 76 is brilliant. Future Games, not so good. You know, and then they changed to other labels after this, but they were over here a lot. Coming to its original lyric in it at that time, they were getting over here, getting quite following over here. Tracks on here. Right, So One, Farther Along, Atomic Boogie, World Eat, World Dog, Stony Night, Pineapple and Colossus. Side 2, Megastar, Phoebe, Don't Lock Up Your Door, Once With You, Diamond Spirit, and there is an orchestral version of Nature's Way on here. It's phenomenal. Now, I did say this is a phenomenal sounding record, and yes, it is. It's just cut loud, and it's cut loud, and the mastering on this is superb. You have the mastering engineer on here is Wally Traeger, who you should, if you know your mastering engineers, like your Porcupine's and that, Wally Traeger, right up there with the best. And like I say, I had never heard a Spirit album that sounds as good as this. So it's worth picking up just for that. And I mean, I got this as a beautiful copy for a tenner. Okay, people say that's too much anyway, but I don't mind paying £10 for an audiophile sounding record, because it bloody well is that good a sounding record. And it is a good album. It is a very good album from Spirit. If you like Spirit and you've not heard Farther Along, so it might be a harder one to find over here, I'm not too sure. then pick it up. But it is in a CD box set released by Cherry Red a few years back called The Mercury Years, that has Spirit 76, Son of Spirit, this one Farther Along, Future Games, with loads and loads of extras and stuff, and 3 or 4 live CDs as well, like radio broadcasts and that, which are, you know, are worth listening to, good quality, pretty good. So that's Spirit. What else have we got? I didn't need this album. I have a few different copies of this album, and this is only a reissue. But it's one of the rarer pressings of this album, especially UK pressings of this album. It's one of the more scarce ones. It's a 1978 reissue of Zeppelin 4, or Untitled, whatever you might call it. Okay. It's in lovely condition. Yeah, like I say, I didn't need this, but yes, I did. Yes, I did. Out of all the Zeppelin albums, for me, this and 3 are my favourites. My favourite Zeppelin albums are this and 3. Like I say, it's got a nice inner. Like I say, this is the 78 reissue. It's on lilac vinyl, and it plays without a pop or a click. It is absolutely near mint, but it's a rarity. And so when I got it home, I knew what it was. When I got it home, it's a bit more of a rarity, because this version is not listed on Discogs. And it's to do with these labels. Okay? So there are 2 versions of this with 2 different label sets, both released in 78, classed as a reissue, completely, authentic and everything. But this one has one label, like side 1 here has the Warner Brother label. As you can see, the little Warner Brother in the corner, and as Kinney Music Limited, Super Hype Music Limited. But the other one, the other side, has Warner Brothers Music, a USA recording, 1971. So that's the other label. So the bottom half of the labels are completely different. Okay. So both of these versions exist. Yeah. But you've got side 1 is from one version label, and side 2 is from the other version label. But the matrices on here is from the label that at the bottom says a USA recording 1971, which is the rarer thingy, but it has completely different labels. So the labels are, you've got one label like from one issue and one label, so 2 label from the other issue. And this is early coloured vinyl, and it's not always the best, is it? Not always the best, but I have got to say this sounds really, really good. Yeah, it is a really good sounding issue. Like I say, there's no noise floor on here. It's awesome. It really is. For a coloured vinyl from 78, it really, really sounds good. Really sounds good. And so pleased to have it. The only problem with it, and I can probably do this with a little bit of lighter fluid, so it looks like, you can see there was a sticker here, and that's left, someone's ripped it off, but it hasn't ripped the cover. What it's done is left like a film of glue. That's what it feels like over, so I'll probably be able to get that off. But yeah, it's just missing the Hope sticker, which would have said limited edition coloured vinyl. I think I can remember these back in the day, being in the record shop, funny enough, or I'm pretty sure I can. So that's Zeppelin 4, really nice collectible piece. You do not see this about at all. So mega chuffed to find that, and it does sound really, really good. It does sound really good. So Zeppelin, one record to go. Okay, and what have we got? This was cheap, but it's such a good record. It is such a good record. That's the album, and I'm pretty sure this was from '73. Yeah, '73. Happy Children by Osibisa. And this is so, so good. I think I paid about £8 for this. Yeah, this is good. So on Warner Brothers. Is it Warner Brothers? Yeah, it's on the Palm Tree label. Warner Brothers Palm Trees. Lovely condition. Yeah, like I say, I paid about £8 for this. And that's a beautiful condition. And this is a great album. It really, really is a great funky album. I love it. And I like African music anyway. But this is really good. So side one, we have Happy Children. We Want to Know, Kotoku, and Take Your Trouble. Side two, Adawa, Basa Basa, Somaja, and Fire. Yeah, this is one I've never seen this one about before. I've seen the other Osibisa albums, and I've got one or two others, but I hadn't seen this one before, and this is really good. It is really good. Highly recommended. We all know who Osibisa were. Yeah. Not played it much, to be honest, but the couple of times I played it, I've really, really got into it. The only problem with it, there was a sticker here someone's tried to remove in the past, and it's ripped a bit of the cover, but I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, really like it, Osibisa. This is quite funky, and yeah, well worth checking out. So that's it for now. As you could see, one or two nice albums there, worth searching out. Most definitely worth searching out. So thank you everybody who tunes in and watches my videos. That is amazing that people are taking time out to watch my videos. If you want to subscribe, please do. It ain't going to cost you nothing. Never. And that just helps to get the videos out to other people. So the more people that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, it just helps to get the videos out across the world to other people who like the records that I show. I'm not the only one that like these records, although sometimes it does feel like that sometimes. I hope everyone had a great new year, and are looking forward to the new challenges this year that we have here in the UK. Always got a new challenge, haven't we? So with that, thank you all very, very much, and I will be back soon with more records. Cheers.